And they were like, and by the way, that's just as far as their measuring tools went. Like it's probably so much bigger. Um, so
And I
cool.
think that's why a lot of people get affected by other people, right? Because so when you are walking into a room and there's somebody who maybe just had a really bad day or they're very angry, because that field extends out really far, you actually cross into that field of many other people whenever you're in a crowd or when you're walking. So it also gives you techniques and skills to kind of um, protect your own energy so that you're not picking up all of the stuff from everyone else around you because it's not always positive when you go out and you meet with other people. So I think that's also, if you do have chronic pain, one of those things is really self regulation, also. And that's a very, very great technique for helping with your own, protecting your own energy throughout the day as well.
So important. I love that you said that. And I feel like in a lot of new age conversations or spiritual conversations or even just like memes on Instagram, people are like, okay, especially for empaths, protect your own energy. But that's such a out there in the clouds kind of statement, but you just brought it back to earth and science backed. So I think that's really cool. And it again makes me think of like Joe Dispenza workshops where everyone is doing these meditations together and then their fields are all crossing and it's like magnifying. So it's like if everyone's aligned, and it makes me think of the square root of 1%, where all these meditators went to DC in I think it was like the 90s, where it was like the crime capital of the world, and they meditated on peace, and it lowered
Mhm.
all the violent crimes. Like it's amazing what we can do as a collective when we get together, right? But I love that you said protect your own energy too. Okay, so you also mentioned another way to release repressed emotions is tapping. And I haven't had anyone on the show talk about tapping yet. So if you could explain to listeners what is tapping and how does it work?
Yeah, for sure. So the emotional freedom techniques, or EFT as are known, tapping, you literally are tapping on your body. So it was developed, I think, in the 1990s by Gary Craig. And he actually built on a lot of the earlier work from Dr. Roger Callahan. He created the thought field therapy, which is kind of the foundation for EFT tapping. And the premise, I think, for Dr. Callahan was that he was integrating Chinese medicine principles with psychology. So, using the energy points that Chinese medicine has known about for thousands of years and that they're using with acupuncture, acupressure, those points, using them and integrating them in his practices to help release energy, to help move energy. And not all tapping releases things, but sometimes it can move energy that's stagnant, or it can move energy forward that was running backwards, or energy backwards that was running forward. So optimizing the energy flow in your body so that you can heal from whatever it is that you're seeking healing from. And I found EFT, again, really simple to do because you learn the tapping points, and then you can do that anytime in your home or wherever you are, so you don't need to have any big machinery or specialized equipment or anything to do that. And you can also, if you want to work with a practitioner, they could just make you a video that you use or write out, some points for you, but you can do all of this yourself. And that's how I started off as well. I just went on YouTube and I looked it up and I started using it for myself before certifying as a practitioner later on. But that's how simple some of these approaches are, and yet they are so life changing and so profound and have really, really great results. And EFT is another one of those approaches that is science backed, and they have done many, many studies. I think that EFT International, with Dr. Dawson Church, I think they did many studies over the years, and they work with the VA, I think, for releasing PTSD in military personnel. So